So welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living's online Sunday service. And I'm going to invite Jesse Powers, who is our rockin' musician today. You're going to have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I will. I
There
was
you
just
go. She's gonna
very quickly typing up the lyrics to this little song I'm about to play in the chat. Here we go.
Wonderful.
So we have love here in the parentheses in the chat of these lyrics. So please feel free to enter more words into the chat besides love.
Yeah, I like this.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. We're talking about abundance today.
Yep.
And we can be abundant in so many ways. We can be abundant with money, though, also. We could also be abundant with joy or peace or power or whatever you want to put in the chat. So here we go. I am abundant. I am blessed with the love I need. I am so rich. And love is my currency. Let it rain down on me. Let it rain down on me. Okay, I don't see any words in the chat. You're not doing your jobs.
You're messing up. Let's see. What do we want to do?
How about we do
I'm abundant.
Joy. Let's just do joy while you think of more words. I am abundant. I am blessed with the joy I need. I am so rich. Woo! And joy is my currency. Let it rain down on me. Let it rain down on me. Reverend Michelle, I see you said, oh, wisdom. Okay, we'll say wisdom. Let's do it. I am abundant. I am blessed with the wisdom I need. I am so rich. And wisdom is my currency. Let it rain down on me. Let the wisdom rain. Let it rain down on me. Okay, we have kindness. I am abundant. This is a good thing to be abundant with. I am blessed with the kindness I need. I am so rich. And kindness is my currency. Let it rain down on me. Ooh. Let it rain down on me. Okay, this time when I do it and I say I am so rich, I want you to just get the feeling of that richness, the richness of life. You are rich with wisdom and kindness and love and joy and peace and spirit and power and amazing things. So when I say I'm so rich, I always say it like this. I am so rich. Whoa! Just like that. So I invite you to do that with me. Here we go. We'll do love again. I am abundant. I am blessed with the love I need. Here we go. I am so rich. And love is my currency. Let's do it one more time. I am abundant. I am blessed with the love I need. Here we go. I am so rich. And love is my currency. Let it rain. Let it rain. Let it rain down on me. Let it rain. Let it rain. Let it rain down on me. Let it pour down on you. Let it rain. Let it rain down on me. All the blessings. Let it rain. Let it rain down down on me.
That was fun. That got the energy flowing.
Thank you for putting some words in the chat. I appreciate it. You
Okay.
didn't know I was gonna put you to work, even though
I
I'm
didn't
here
know I
to
did.
work.
Oh, so I would like to invite our wonderful, beloved, magnificent expression of the divine, Ralane Clarke, to do our opening prayer. Oh.
Thank you, Jesse. That was just wonderful. And thank you, everyone, for all your prayers. I am feeling much better. And when you're talking about let it rain, Jesse, it's been raining here, and it feels good. And when it rains, I always feel that joy and love and connection and peace, and it just kind of is all around me with the rain and the mist. It feels very sacred and special. Today, I thought I'd share a little quote. And Michelle's nice enough to share it actually for me. All right. So it says, to be good and to do good is all we have to do. John Adams. I'm a John Adams fan. I like this quote because it's very simple, yet it feels so good. And I believe that it's really about embracing our goodness that's within us and then expressing it just like that. It's very easy, and it does feel so wonderful. And I believe that in this time of this month of abundance and gratitude, that it's very easy to do goodness and feel goodness and surround ourselves in goodness. And I think that for me, I was just walking out in the forest today, and I always feel so rich and so blessed to live in a forest and to go walking in the forest with my dog. I feel the richness and the blessings of the trees and the rain and the mountains around us and the earth and the wildlife. And I feel like I'm the richest person on earth, you know? And it's an amazing, amazing thing. And Reverend Michelle, could you bring us back to our everybody here? One of the things that makes me also feel very rich is being on Zoom with all of you and looking at each and every one of you. It really is such a blessing of connection and such a blessing of love. And I really feel in this is technological age that we're very lucky to be together on Zoom like this. It's really, I don't know, really, I feel very rich and abundant. So let's just close our eyes now and feel that richness, that abundance, that love, that connection, all the blessings that we're giving and receiving in this very moment. Just feel God, feel Spirit, feel Mother Nature, our planet, our connection with everyone and everything. It really is just so spectacular, so abundantly beautiful and wonderful and abundantly good. And that goodness is within sight of us. And as we just be ourselves in our everyday lives, we just flow with that goodness of God, the goodness of Spirit, connecting in, just like the trees are the trees and the mountains are the mountains and the wildlife are the wildlife, and Mother Earth is Mother Earth. We are ourselves. And it's just a collective goodness of love and gratitude and peace, compassion, joy, and happiness. And I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for this prayer for Science of Mind and John Adams, and for all of us to just be good and do good. It's all we have to do. Thank you, Spirit. And I release this prayer into divine law, knowing it is already so. And I simply say with all of you, and so it is. November affirmation. I am still and receptive to life. I let life flow through me and all I think, say, and do. I let life be what it is without worry or complaint. Daily, I enter into the stillness of my soul where God speaks to me. And so it is. Our lovely and wonderful artist.
I always tweak his quotes just a little bit to update them. All right, Jesse, do you have some more music for us, sweetheart?
Yeah, I was just gonna do a classic Karen Drucker chant today. We all know it. I am so blessed. So feel free to go back into that centered space. Close your eyes. And bring to mind all your blessings. And sing this. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Wow, that felt so good. That was just lovely and beautiful. And
Thanks.
thank you for that. So, before I begin, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay because okay. Rob, can you not hear at all? Can't hear anything. Bummer. I'll tell you what I can do if you're open to it. I can call you and you can just be on speaker. You want me to try that? Totally okay with it. Rob McGregor. As long as it doesn't cause any feedback on my end, that might be a good.
We can't hear Rob when he was talking either.
Yeah, he thinks his audio driver may have oh, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, on the phone.
Okay, I'm delayed, but Hey, this might work since I'm supposed to do the benediction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and nobody else can hear any reverb or anything, right? Cool. See, there's always a fix. In infinite mind. All right, so let's see. I always want to welcome everybody again, welcome all my friends. Because I like to say that people that listen to the recording later on in the replay time, I want them to be included as well. So however you're joining us in real time or replay, I just trust that that you're going to experience something in the service that it inspires, enlarges your life in some way, benefits your life in some way, that it touches that part of you, that magnificence of the divine presence that's within you, and that you can connect with that in some way. So having said that, as Jesse said earlier, today's talk is Loaves and Fishes, which of course is one of Jesus's parables. This is it's from Luke 9:18, I believe. And it isn't just a story about how Jesus magically created a buffet table for all his followers. And it isn't about Jesus being able to do something that no one else could do, that you or I couldn't do. It's kind of a layered story that for us as metaphysicians has both a metaphysical meaning and a very human, realistic, everyday meaning as well. The parable goes something like this. I'm just going to kind of tell it from what I understand. So Jesus had begun his ministry, and he was preaching, and he started to gather these really large crowds. And King Herod heard about Jesus's ministry, and he wasn't really very happy about it. He thought he'd ended any kind of rebellious activity with John the Baptist when he was put to death. So Jesus and his disciples decided, maybe we're going to take off for a while and kind of let things cool down. So they went to a town that nearby called, it was Bethsaida, I believe it is. I probably pronounced it wrong, but that's okay. But anyway, his followers, the people got wind of where he was, and they followed him there. And so the story goes that Jesus welcomed them when they showed up, of course, and he spoke to them about the kingdom of God and all the things that he taught. And near the end of the first day, the apostles were kind of suggesting to Jesus, hey, you might want to dismiss the crowd so they can go and find a place to stay and get something to eat. And Jesus said, no, you feed them. And they told Jesus, well, we couldn't possibly feed all these people. The most we could do is maybe gather up about 5 loaves of bread and a couple of fish. But Jesus said, no. Tell everybody to sit down in groups of 50. I read that story and I'm like, I wonder why 50? It must have some meaning. But they did that. And Jesus took the loaves and the fishes that they had, and he blessed them. And then the apostles handed them out. And everyone had enough to eat. And afterwards, so the story goes, the apostles gathered up baskets of leftovers. I can imagine that there were fish bones lying all over the place. So metaphysically, this is a story of the infinite abundance of the universe and how it expresses as prosperity in and through our human lives, our faith and our trust. And I just heard a weird kind of, hang on a second. I just heard a weird kind of noise. I don't know what that was about, but everybody can still hear me and everything, right? Okay, good. As long as you can hear me, we're okay. I thought maybe something had happened to the Facebook or the video or something. Anyway, so the story goes that he held the food in his hands. And he looked up and he gave thanks. And for me, this is kind of the key of the story, an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of trust and faith in our ability to co-create with our source. Jesus took his attention off the not enoughness of feeding the multitudes, the lack, and he looked to source, to the abundance of universal good. And he sat in that vibration of good. He acknowledged his source and he gave thanks for his power to co-create, to participate through law, and to demonstrate what already existed in the potential, the infinite mind, the infinite field of potential, whatever we want to call it, of the divine presence. And this is also a story about the power of community. This is the human aspect that I was talking about, the power of community and supporting each other, of our oneness and our collective good that we have and that we can share all the time with our families and our communities and our friends. It illustrates the plenitude that already exists within the wholeness of God and how it's already demonstrated in just so many ways. This story is about the invisible field of infinite potential. Its potential to show up in our lives and the goodness that has already shown up in our lives. There's a story, there's an author, Parker Palmer. I think I've read some of his stuff before. He's an amazing guy. He's written lots of books and one of my favorite metaphysicians. And he wrote a story that I think kind of updates the Loaves and Fishes story and puts it into our practical application of everyday life. And I'm just going to read his words because he says it better than I possibly could. So he wrote, after a speech in Saskatoon, I boarded a 6 a.m. Air Canada flight home to Wisconsin. Our departure was delayed because the truck that brings the coffee to the planes had broken down. And after a while, the pilot said, hey, we're just going to take off without the coffee. We want to get you to Detroit on time. I was up in the front with all the road warriors, a kind of a surly tribe, especially at that early hour. And they began loudly griping about incompetence and lousy service. And once we got into the air, a flight attendant came to the center of the aisle and with her mic on said, good morning, we're flying to Minneapolis today at an altitude of 300 feet, which of course evoked loud gasps. What? And then she said, now that I have your attention, I know you're upset about the coffee. Well, get over it. Start sharing stuff with your seatmates. That bag of peanuts you got on your last flight and you put it in your pocket, tear it open and pass it around. Got gum or mints? Share them. You can't read all the sections of the paper at once. Offer them to each other. Show off the pictures of your kids and your grandkids you have in your wallets. And she went on and on and on in that vein. And people began laughing and doing what she told them to do. And a surly scene turned into a summer camp. An hour later, as the attendant passed by my seat, I signaled to her. What you did was really amazing, I said. Thanks, she said. The loaves and fishes are not dead. I love that. We already have so much. It's really all about the attitude in which we show up. You know, this is a real life application of Jesus's parable. We are increased when we share what we have, when we allow ourselves to become a universal outlet for God, when we act from our oneness. And you know, just like all stories from ancient texts, you know, they're only meaningful if they are alive for us today. How do they relate to our own lives? What do they highlight for us? And how can we live them? What was Jesus really trying to teach here? What I hear in this parable, and why I'm sharing it with you, is that he was teaching that the nature of the universe is abundant. And it expresses itself as prosperity through all of its creation, through you and me. That it is constantly giving itself freely to its creation, which we're a part of. And we must receive it graciously and freely as it is given. And we must continue to give from ourselves, from the overflow, to continue that flow through our thoughts and our feelings and our actions in the world. Jesus didn't say to the apostles, you know, we better send these people on their way so they can find what they need because we just don't have enough. He said that give them what we have. And in essence, it will be multiplied. That's what he said. We have enough already. So let's review. let's just review some of the basics. I always love to do that. It kind of helps us to learn more about this principle of abundance that we're talking about this month and how we can put it into action. So here's the thing. There is an awareness, an ordered and intelligent stuff from which all things are made. We call it God, spirit, divine presence, and so many other names. And this stuff, whatever we want to call it, in its original state, permeates and penetrates and fills all the space in the universe. And a thought, enhanced by an elevated feeling and emotion in this intelligent substance, produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. We hold a thought, we enhance it with an elevated emotion, and it is impressed on this formless substance, which causes the things we think about and resonate with to be created. And in order to step in our power to do this, to co-create, we have to let go of any thought or any feeling of our separation from this stuff, from the aware, ordered, and intelligent stuff. We have to feel and live our oneness in our mind and in our heart. We must form a clear mental image and a feeling tone of the thing we want to demonstrate. And then when we approach it with faith and with purpose, we do what's right in front of us, just like Jesus did. He didn't say send them off. He said give them what we have. We do what is right in front of us. We don't wait to feel gratitude. We don't wait to think and act abundantly. We do what is right in front of us right now to the best of our ability. We draw in the flow of good. We become an outlet for its outpicturing, which feeds and uplifts and benefits the whole of creation. And I have to say that just in reviewing these basic principles this week that are the nature of the universe, it has given me such peace and solace and support. When we tell the story of the loaves and fishes, it's a reminder that abundance is not just about what we get, but how we are an outlet for abundance, which certainly includes all of us. It's about the plenitude of this universal stuff, the stuff that is turned into the resources that we need. And if you're anything like me, and you probably are, you may be moving through some feelings of uneasiness and angst around the results of the national election that we just had. Some of us are feeling a little better than others. I know I have family members that are very pleased with the outcome. But wherever we stand, wherever you stand, there was and is a lot of energy around it. We can still feel it in the collective consciousness. And here is where I am so grateful for my spiritual practice. Practices that have built within me this foundation that stands on an unshakable spiritual principle that all is well no matter what. And this deep conviction has given me the faith and the trust and the appreciation of this stuff, of universal awareness, of intelligence, of good. And I can stand on it now because I don't know what's going to be born out of this. I simply don't know what I don't know. I don't know what divine order or harmony or love is brewing under what looks like division and confusion. I just don't know. None of us do. And I bet that in spiritual centers and churches all over the country, that old familiar story about the farmer and his son and his horse is being told. And because it's so appropriate for this moment. Y'all know the story. I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but I'm going to tell it anyway. There's a farmer who has a very prosperous family farm, and they're doing well. And one day his horse runs away. And the farmer's son said, "Oh no, this is terrible. What will we do now?" And the farmer replies, "Who's to say what's good or bad?" And the next day the horse returns with a bunch of wild horses, and the son says, "Oh, this is great." And the father says, "Who's to say what's good or bad?" And the next day the son falls off one of the horses and breaks his leg. Who's to say what's good or bad? And the day after that, the army comes to take all the young men to conscript them into service. But the son can't go because he's got a broken leg. Who's to say what's good or bad? I have no idea what is going to be born from this turn of events around this national election or even around the world. It doesn't mean that I'm happy about it. It doesn't mean that I can't see that we now have in leadership a people that have built a base centered around misogyny and homophobia and racism and greed and fear and division. And that's not political. We can see and hear it. It's a fact. It's not a secret. But I do not know what the ultimate outcome will be. I stand on my firm conviction that we live in a universe of good. And I trust and I do my part to be a vehicle through which universal good flows. And I'm going to do that every day and in every way that I possibly can. In Science of Mind, we teach that life is forever and ever moving forward and expanding. Ernest Holmes told us that growth is the law of life, and it is necessary. Can you imagine if you were the same person you were 25 years ago? I just cannot. And science has proven this for us too, that we live in a universe that is constantly expanding. I looked up how we know that the universe is expanding, and apparently we know this from the light that we see in distant galaxies. As photons of light travel through the expanded space, the photons themselves become stretched. So shortwave lengths get longer and longer as they travel through the expanding space. The universe, including us, is expanding. You know, I always like to throw a little science in because we are a science of mind. So I heard this idea from Reverend Michael Beckwith. He's been my favorite person to listen to lately. I go through different favorites. And he said something that I think is really interesting. He said that when things that seem contrary to the nature of the universe show up, like we're seeing all around us right now, that they cause this kind of regression. And it moves us into what Beckwith calls the slingshot effect. Whenever there's a regression from this kind of energy that we're experiencing right now, for example, a lot of fear, a lot of division, and the universe is still moving forward, it's like a rubber band of a slingshot, and it creates this great tension, a pulling back of the universe as the universe continues to expand. I can in my head see that, the pulling back of the regression of the universe is still moving forward. And when it gets released, it shoots everything forward very quickly. And Beckwith believes that this tension is the seed of growth and transformation, that this tension that we're experiencing right now is propelling us forward at an accelerated rate. And I think that's true. I've seen it play out in my own life. Have you ever experienced some dramatic change from something unexpected or something unwanted, an unwanted event or circumstance? I'm sure you have. Things that don't really feel that great at the time, but the expansion and the growth and the insight that you receive in the process of being pulled back by the tension is accelerated. And we get there much more quickly. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a death, an accident, a disease, a divorce, whatever it is, the change and the outcome come more quickly. And I just kind of offer this as an idea for our consideration, but it feels right to me. I really feel like I've experienced that in my own personal life. And if something's happening individually, it's going to happen collectively as well. And our part in this is how we decide to participate in this rapid acceleration and this rapid unfoldment of good. Are we willing to become instruments through which universal good can express itself? We know that the universe is intelligent and beautiful and creative and progressive. but we also know that it needs a channel to express, a vehicle through which it can express itself more fully. You know, I'm willing. I'm here to be a channel. I say yes. And I participate in being that channel by making sure that I'm aware of what I want to be a channel for. And I put my attention, my intention, and my attention on it. You know, I can sit around and bemoan what I see unfolding around me, or I can stand on the truth that I know. Remember the basics: a thought enhanced by an elevated feeling in this intelligent substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Well, what thoughts am I going to think? And don't be fooled by thinking that we avoid, ignore, don't look right in the face of what's happening. No, that's not what we're about. We look it right in the face. You probably know or have heard me talk about the quantum physics principle called the observer principle, the observer effect. The principle demonstrates that everything we observe or pay attention to changes. And I've been practicing looking at what has demonstrated within a vibration of absolute love. You know, I don't recoil from it. I just observe it. I embrace it without judgment, without resistance, without trying to make it go away. I don't want to bury it or avoid it. I want to transform it through the vibration of God's highest good by observing it, which allows me to participate in an act of transformation, an act of co-creation. It allows me to become that vehicle through which universal good flows. And we know that there are two different ways in which we gather thoughts. They don't originate, we gather them from two different sources. The world around us, from what's already demonstrated, what's already showed up, you know, the world of form and experience, or from the unlimited imagination of God, the infinite field of all possibilities. And this kind of, you know, play in the imagination of God, it's not airy-fairy or pie in the sky thinking. It's active co-creation. This is where we go to open ourselves up to whatever's trying to be born. And I am dedicated to being that open channel, not just for my own good, although I'm included in any good that is expressed, but I know that if I feel a desire to express abundance, that it must complete itself through my generosity. And if I feel a desire to have meaningful relationships, it must complete itself through my expression of love. If I have a desire to be healthy and strong and have a body full of vitality, it completes itself through my ability to express my gifts and my talents in the world and contribute to the whole of life. We are one with this aware, intelligent, ordered stuff from which all things are created. And we are fulfilled and joyous in our expression of it, no matter what's already demonstrated. We're empowered to transform, to raise up anything and everything into the vibration of God. And quite frankly, I am ready to be propelled forward with that tension that is about to be released from that slingshot. So there's where I am. So that, you know, and that's how I'm approaching this whole thing. This is an opportunity for transformation. So let's move into some prayer. Oh, goodness gracious me, oh my. Here we are, swimming in the intelligent, ordered, harmonious, beautiful stuff of God. It's what everything is. And as sharing its nature, whatever I hold in mind, in heart, whatever I observe with that enhanced vibrational vibe, the highest vibe of God, I transform it from my noticing, from my observation. We're doing it all the time. Right now, I choose to be that vehicle through which I express the love of God, the community of God, the oneness of God, the abundance, the prosperity, the compassion, the kindness. I could go on here for a long time. Everything that is rich and true and vibrating so beautifully in the mind in the infinite field of the divine. I am a channel for. We all are. I speak my word about that. I know that as we open to be that channel, we are. So for this and just so much more, I'm just so grateful. And gratitude, feel the richness of gratitude, the high vibe of it. It's like a tool that brings us up to swim in the goodness, to be the goodness, to express the goodness. So we sit in that sense of gratitude, we allow it to be, and we signify our agreement by saying together. And so it is. And so it is. So good to be back. I missed our time together. I mean, we were together, but it was in a different kind of format. I loved listening to the practitioners last week. They were awesome. And the Taizé service was fun too, but this is really fun. So thank you all for being here. Hoot, hoot. Rob, can you still hear me?
Hear me, question.
I can.
How about, Marcia, Yvonne, how's the sound coming through on your end?
Try it again.
There, okay, I just turned off my, speaker there.
And I turned up the volume on my phone.
You saying something to me, I need the volume on.
I just said I turned up the volume on my phone so that
And
they
it,
could.
and it got louder and it's better.
Michelle, can you
You're
hold the
okay.
phone as close to the computer mic as possible?
Is my speaker off, so.
Okay,
Are we doing the
Yes.
offering at this point?
yes, we are.
You have to nod. Very cool, all right, sorry about this, guys.
That's okay.
It's been a week. Anyway, this is our time to come together in a financial way. This is if you have any peanuts left over from your last flight that you can share with us, we would really, really appreciate that. And I know I appreciate One Heart, One Mind, especially appreciating this service. And so I'm even gonna, for this week, I'm gonna dig a little deeper than usual, and you might, I don't know what you can do, but if that's possible, you might consider doing the same thing. And as far as my contribution this week or this month are concerned, and as always, you can send it to Michelle directly through the mail, or you can Venmo us, whatever works for you. And we have our maybe.
Yeah, we do. Hang on, let's see. Here we go. Hang on.
Okay, I just turned the volume up so I can hear you, Michelle. If you
Oh, and I got it. I could find it. All right. Here we go.
Okay, as regards to dollars and or peanuts, everything flows from the nature of God's good. We give and receive from this flow in gratitude and in love. We rest in the infinite giving nature of spirit, and so it is.
And so it is. All right, Rob, I'll come back to you in a second. All right. Isn't life fun? I just wanted to give a few announcements. Let's see. My announcements are we have our Monday night prayer group tomorrow night. Last week we skipped it because I was on a plane. I don't know, maybe some people showed up. I don't know, I wasn't there. And we are gonna do Tuesday night. It's is it chapter 8 or no? We did 8 already. We're gonna do chapter 9, right? Or is it the other way around? I see nods. And I think it's called The Garden. And we have 2 chapters left. I sent out the reading. So we'll have to talk about what we're going to do after that. And let's see. Oh, I wanted to, let's see, I actually have the little flyer for this. I'll put it up for us, Abigail. If I can. Let's see if it doesn't want to open for me. I was gonna put up the flyer for our Thanksgiving service, but it doesn't want to come up. So it's the Thursday, the 21st it's in the newsletter, but it's at the community church in Poway. So if you have any questions about that, it was a lot of fun last year and the previous however many years. So I wanted to remind you about that. And for those far away, Abigail, there it is. It finally popped up. It took a while. We are going to stream it, right?
We're gonna do what?
We're going to stream it, right?
Yes, and we finally I think we finally have that all taken care of. What's gonna happen is we're going to stream it through the Community Church of Poway's Facebook. So if you can't be there, you can just type in Community Church of Poway and it'll take you to a link where you could just click onto the Facebook. And we're gonna try and at the same time, and I know Sherry's gonna check with the tech guy to stream it through the Poway Interfaith Team Facebook as well. Don't know if we can do both, but we for sure can do the community church. And then hopefully they said that they could send us a link to it after the service and then we can put it on our Point YouTube. So it will be there forever. So that would be good. But at least if you can't be there, we really want everyone there in person, but we totally understand all kinds of things. So
yeah,
anyway,
technology
just
is
look
great.
up Community Church of Poway Facebook and you should be able to get on.
Okay, well, I'll grab a hold of the link and put it in the e-newsletter too for people.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
All
so
right.
it should be a lovely service. We've got, besides special things going on for everybody. Michelle is in charge of that, but I won't surprise. I've got a surprise for you. But we got
Okay.
speakers and musicians and dancers and children's choirs and food and also we're not only are we going to have pass a donation box for Interfaith Community Services in Escondido, we're also asking if you can to bring food and non-perishables, and we're going to collect food for Interfaith Community Services as well. So that's our yearly giving to that particular organization. All the money, all the proceeds, everything goes directly to them.
It's great. It's great. They do good work. They do.
They really do. They really do. So
I was so impressed that they were housing people that were coming over the border, the people that were kind of stranded, taking them all in and housing them, and as many as they could anyway.
Right. They from what I understand, there's buses taking them to certain places in San Diego County and dropping them off, and they had no place to go. And Interfaith Community Services, probably with some other organizations, found out where the drop-offs were, and literally people just drove their cars over there, picked them up, and they found them a place to stay. I mean, it was incredible. It was exhausting from what I understand for the people doing it, but they did. It was such a beautiful act of kindness and service that that's where their hearts are. So we like to support them in what they do with the homeless and the vets and the abused ladies. And so we're just grateful we can help.
Yeah. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you for that. Okay. So now, Rob, I'm gonna come back to you. Can you still hear me? Yep.
Hearing you has never been a problem. It's talking to you that's been the tough part. But
I gotcha. Okay.
I just turned off the speaker here so it doesn't feed back. But
okay.
I assume I'm doing the benediction at this point. All right, I'm all over it, and hopefully you are too if you're willing to go within with me. Close your eyes with me if you like. Feel the goodness if you like, and I always like that. That is so wonderful to go inside, to feel God at its fullest, and to know that every one of us, we are surrounded by the goodness, because goodness is all there is in this universe. And I am knowing right now that just as Jesus was the great example, not the great exception, I know that I believe in my heart that Jesus was able to create additional loaves and fishes. And I believe with all my heart that as I grow within the science of mind teaching, my ability to not just create loaves and fishes, but to create loaves and fishes in the next 10 minutes, because that's what is needed, which makes it look more like a miracle. And our miracles are becoming more and more vibrant and more wonderful and more obvious and more delightful. So I am knowing this for each and every one of us as we grow in the law, that we are able to work it stronger, better, and more to the benefit of ourselves and everyone around us. Thank you, God, for all this goodness. Thank you, God, for this service. Thank you, God, for Jesse Powers. Thank you, God, for the wonderful insights that we have. I release my word to the universe. I let it be, and together we say.
And so it is. Woohoo! Thank you, Rob. That was fabulous. Just fabulous. Yeah, I like that right now thing. That we don't. Yeah, I'm down for that. Yay. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess that we're gonna invite Jessie to play for us one more time. You're on, girl.
Okay. We're gonna do one of my faves. You all should know the lyrics by now. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. 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 Look at the clock, it's running day and night. Got no control in those hands. A little soldier just marching through time. I'm so glad I am not a clock, I am alive, and I can choose to dance each time I open my eyes. That's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show up in this life. Every day I make miracles happen. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Abundance raining down. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, get up. Oh, get up. Get up. And be grateful. Say, I'm up. I'm up. I'm up. And I'm thankful. Oh, get up. Oh, get up. Oh, get up. And be grateful. I'm up, and I'm ready to play. Yeah. Everybody, get up, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Everybody, get up, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up, oh, 'cause it's a beautiful day.
Oh, yes, it is. It is a beautiful day. Thank you so very much.
You are
That
so
was
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Ralane popped off already, it looks like. Thank you, Ralane. And keep Nan in your prayers. She's having some vertigo. So she could use a little bit of spiritual mind treatment. And Lisa gives her hellos to everybody. She had some family thing she had to be to today. So she didn't forget us though. All right, I am going to turn off our recording. So goodbye to our recording.